This is the year of the tight end. So do you make the plunge to grab the first one of the elite, or sit back and wait for a guy like Irv Smith Jr. to fall into your lap? Is his ceiling that high? We'll try to figure that out next, right here on DynastyLeagueFootball.com with our 2019 NFL Draft Profile Series.
The NFL Draft Profile Series, NFL prospects, break it down, let's get it. People's pen and the gridiron scholar, time to do it major. Let's see who running the field, let's analyze the data. Yeah, let's go.
In any other year, Irv Smith Jr. would be talked up as probably the top tight end in the entire draft and a surefire first-round pick. Despite all of the talent this year offers, he still is in that conversation and just might still be that number one guy at tight end. The vaunted 2017 class saw 3 go in the first, so there is hope. Now, John, if he doesn't go that high, he is sure to be gone early in the second, and his dad, who was taken 20th overall in 1993, will still have bragging rights within the family. Would you take him in the first round if you were an NFL GM? And then for fantasy purposes, how are you valuing him amongst his peers this year?
When I first saw Irv Smith 2 years ago for the Crimson Tide, I recognized the name, and he had a junior. So I said, wait, is that the son of Irv Smith? And I remember his dad getting drafted by the Saints in 1993, coming out of Notre Dame. Now, his dad never fulfilled expectations, but he played for 7 years in the NFL and scored 15 touchdowns. So I went back, and he's clearly got the family pedigree to be an NFL player. Now, to answer your question, I have a second-round grade on Irv Smith. I like him a ton, and I do think there's a chance that a playoff team might take him late in the first round. I think there's a little bit of separation between Fant, Hockenson, and Smith. And don't get me wrong, I like Smith, but I think Hockenson and Fant are special. I just believe that Irv Smith Jr. is very good, but a team might fall in love with him and grab him in the first round. In 2018, he was All-SEC second team and All-America second team. Great season for Alabama. He established a single-season mark for a tight end with 7 touchdowns. I have not exactly watched a lot of tight ends excel in the passing game for the Crimson Tide, even though we did get O.J. Howard a couple years ago. What I do like about Irv Smith Jr. a ton, Andy, he is a home run hitter. He averaged over 16 yards per catch last year. And using your expand the box score, which I love, he earned a first down on 28 of 44 receptions. That's tremendous. But what was really impressive to me, he logged over 20 yards on 11 receptions this year. So this young man can get deep down the field. He's a good runner after the catch with the ball in his hands, and he produces chunk plays. Hey, when he went to the combine, I felt really good about his athletic ability. You're talking about a man who's 6'2" and 242 pounds. He's not as elite as Fant or Hockenson as far as athletic ability, but his 40-yard dash, his 3-cone drill, and his 20-yard shuttle was very, very good. I was impressed with him as an athlete. He's a physical competitor at the line of scrimmage and an excellent pass catcher. He's a junior and only a 1-year starter at Alabama, so he doesn't have a lot of experience on the resume. But he has soft hands and snatches passes cleanly. He has good body control. He's clearly an NFL athlete. He's fluently gets in and out of cuts, and he's a crisp route runner. You know these young men coming out of Alabama, they're well coached on technique, and they're ready to run routes crisply. He commands the middle of the gridiron, and he runs deep patterns down the seam of the defense. He is aggressive and fierce blocker with very good footwork. Hey, he's not in the Hockenson class, but you know kids playing for Nick Saban are going to be good blockers. What is a little concerning, and the reason why I have him as second-round grade, he lacks ideal size, and he has shorter arms for the position. At 6'2" and 242 pounds, he isn't that elite uber size that Hockenson and Fant are. He needs additional upper body strength, and body mass could be essential to his NFL career. I'd like to see him around 252 without losing speed or agility. And at times, he rounds out patterns, and he deaccelerates out of breaks. I like this young man. He's going to be a difference maker in the NFL. I have a second-round grade. It's very close, but what do you think about Irv Smith Jr., Andy?
Well, he has the look of a natural tight end, fused with the way the NFL game has changed, and that feels perfectly logical given his upbringing and talented father. It reminds me of the Winslows in many facets because of that. He is the youngest skill player in this year's class, which is all the more reason to be enamored with what the upside and potential is. But where he is already gives me great confidence he will continue to blossom into potentially the best tight end in the league. Now, that might sound too bold for some, but when you consider his abilities not only as a blocker, but as a receiver as well, you can hopefully understand where I am coming from. He excels in all aspects of the game. The other two challenging him for supremacy are the Iowa teammates Noah Fant and TJ Hockenson, as you mentioned, who are both dynamic in their own right. The difference with Smith is he essentially feels like the combination of the two for me. I think he blocks better than Fant, and I do think he catches and is a little bit more athletic than Hockenson. I know the combine won't back that up, but I don't think he necessarily tested as well as he could have at the combine. So I'm willing to be a little bit more optimistic in that facet and give him the slight edge athletically over Hockenson. So I think he's somewhere in between the two. The only hesitation I really have is more of a recommendation of patience. I do think he can come in and contribute right away, but I would expect him to take a year or two before it all comes together. That slight edge that Fant and Hockenson may have today, and I say may, could very easily be the slight edge he holds over them by year 3 when they're all professionals. I really like Irv Smith Jr. a lot, but I like all of these tight ends a lot. And we're only talking about the top 3. This class goes deeper than that. Let us know what you think of Irv Smith Jr. Would he be your top tight end? Where do you have him graded and ranked? Leave it in the comments below. Check out what we thought of Hockenson and Fant. We've covered them as well. Go see all the other players we've covered in our 2019 NFL Draft Profile Series right here on DynastyLeagueFootball.com, where you can see some other great articles and read and listen to some other great podcasts. You can also read John's written work at FootballDiehards.com, and you can go check out my newly launched ExpandTheBoxScore.com, which will give you a detailed look at every touch of every player from the 2018 season, where you can compare and contrast players side by side or in chunks and groups by position or age or whatever you want. It's all there. Thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed this episode.